seen the best of them jammed up. 25 to life in the can't stop. Never met a man that they can't talk. We're talking on the phones, they can hear us.
When you got dumb cake up in the say that they be waiting for you in the bushes with the duct tape up and down the interstate. Yeah, we really touch.
Select the team you want to join.
We went down in Arizona, don't get me involved. An empty box in the car means they're coming for all. I had six phones.
Start your season with recommended settings. If you wish to change roles or adjust options, use the tiles on the right.
They know our every move, yeah, they want us all in prison. That's why I can't sleep at night until they get in. I'm on another mission, I'm just young and I'm living.
I done seen the best of them jammed up. 25 to life in the can't stop. Never met a man that they can't talk. We're talking on the phones, they can hear us.
7 in the morning and they in my home. My bank account's froze, what is going on? Why it all start going wrong? From talking on the phone.
My phone still echo, the feds won't let go. Money never sleeps when you're the black Gordon Gecko. Line looking like they waiting on the retro. Sixes, I feel special. Resale and I never pay retail. My shoebox money afforded me the spree wells. And that then courted me a V12. Avoid the phones if it's sounding like a seashell. Too much clicking in the connection.
Start the regular season by selecting your season goal.
I place my like a drive-through. Feeling, you know how I do. Push.
I done seen the best of them jammed up. 25 to life in the can't.
Start your week by meeting your season goal comes with higher rewards.
We're talking on the phones, they can hear us.
7 in the morning and they in my home. My bank account's froze, what is going on? Why it all start going wrong? From talking on the phone.
Too many handle business on my own, cause you ain't right, and that's I don't condone. I got homies behind the wall wishing they was home. They got jammed up, kept discussing business on the phone. But Scotty, whoa, 200 bands off them $20 flips. I'm going by myself when it's time to up. That way police don't have a clue when turn up. I'm dolo when I'm out making different moves. Pull up to the shop just to pick and choose. I'm that, don't get confused, cause even when them prayed I didn't lose. Machine.
I done seen the best of them jammed up. 25 to life in the can't stop. Never met a man that they can't talk. We're talking on the phones, they can hear us.
7 in the morning and they in my home. My bank account's froze, what is going on? Why it all start going wrong? From talking on the phones.
Honorable C notes.
Yeah. Superstars out. Brand new cars. We by the bar now. Swaying doors now.
Kick your season off by an offensive each week. Once you've made your game plan, choose to start training.
Now she go, for the team, now she don't ski, splash. Think about posting up on the ground, man, the leader. Whole gang in the field, we don't do bleed.
Now, let's take a minute to see how you can improve your team.
You got that swag, you got that salt, then sell it, free money, cash them out, we bailin'. Saw my teacher, I was the same student fella. Now I got a lawyer, straight cash, no settlement. I'm out my element, out my element. My the same, don't need no clout, no fame. Bought the game, all brand new chain. I swerve the lane, call the group the gang. Put that thing, whip it, this shit give me. Ooh, yeah. Them boys fool you trying to do it, bring the. Don't want no, they pull up with that. It's times three, this how it go. Park $1 million at the. We gon' make 'em eat that until we go. Eat it up. Rich straight to the top floor. More PJs and PJ. Rich like.
Saquon Barkley, welcome to the NFL.
And thank you, Coach. We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Today, it's the opener of a new NFL season between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the New York Giants. Oh, spinning away. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. They'll be commanded by the veteran QB, the former Walter Payton Man of the Year in the league, Eli Manning.
When you look at the numbers that Eli Manning posted in 2017, there's plenty of cause for concern. Lowest yards per completion of his career, fewest yards passes since 2008. His numbers continue to drop in terms of touchdowns and rising in terms of interceptions. But he's one of the fiercest competitors in the league, even if you can't tell it by his demeanor. And no, you don't hear about his workout program like Tom Brady and Drew Brees. But this is a guy that burns to win and wants to get back on the top of the heap.
Now Saquon Barkley, and he'll get this up to about the 40. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
On second down, here's Barkley, and he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I'll bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Manning now on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Manning again here on 2nd and 10. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. It's caught inside the 25. A gain of 39 that time.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, and it's incomplete. That would have been big in the end zone if he could have held on. Instead, it's second down. And time to take a look at the Jaguar defense.
I'm putting a spotlight on Jalen Ramsey, who was an All-Pro for the first time in 2017 at cornerback. But I remember him coming out of Florida State, and people couldn't decide, was he a safety? Was he a corner? Did he use him at both spots? His ability to diagnose plays, his ability to control.
And he's got his man. Beckham. Touchdown, Giants. Odell Beckham. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Giants are going to take a first quarter lead. Excellent start there. First drive of the season. Big-time success putting it in the end zone.
And remember, that was done without any real map of how to do it. In other words, the deeper you get into the season, you get game film to work off of, tendencies to work off of. The first drive of the season, things can be entirely different than what you've seen in the past. It's a really good job of execution by them.
Aldrick Rosas on for the extra point. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. That time a 6-play drive. And it was finished off by a touchdown by the New York Giants. Rosas now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Bortles leads the Jags up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Here's Leonard Fournette, 1,000-yard rusher from a year ago. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be second and very short.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
What do you think, 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Following the sack, 3rd and long for Bortles and the Jags. From the gun, it's Bortles. And incomplete on the deep ball.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
Taken in at the 22. Fancy footwork at the 45. Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. The Giants making their way out, and at this point you would have to think that all mentions of last year maybe erased from team history, or at least that's what they want. Yeah, clearly, Charles, correct me if I'm wrong, the talent on this team, too good for another 3-13 finish, right?
And I think that was reflected in their draft in 2018. Because if it was an all-out rebuild, they would have drafted a quarterback at number 2. Instead, they drafted Saquon Barkley. So that signals to me they want to get back to running the football and trying to punish people on offense and take the pressure off of Eli Manning. And on the defensive side of the ball, they obviously have to get better. But believe it or not, you know who can really help them there? Their head coach, Pat Shermer. Comes from a defensive family, understands how valuable it is, and loves the toughness and the identity that a good defense can provide.
No gain on the play there, 2nd down. And this is a guy straight out of college. They're not going to try to groom for a year or two. They want him to produce right away.
That's why they took him in the 1st round. They expect him to be a starter right away and a future all-pro. So they don't have any time to wait for him to come along. They want him to play right now to help this team.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago. Really, it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So you have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, it all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff.
He finds Beckham complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. He had the touchdown on the opening drive. Now he's got a 1st down. How about the first quarter he's putting together out wide? Pretty impressive.
I think that he likes the fact that we're playing this as a day game. You know, some guys, they respond better in the evenings, for some reason it builds up. But this guy, day game, and he is off and running. You're exactly right. 100 might be conservative with the start that he's had here in the first quarter.
Yeah, by the numbers, he's on pace for 200-plus right now.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now Manning throwing on 2nd down. And he whips that one incomplete there. The Pro Bowler Odell Beckham, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now it's Barkley. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. That'll be good for 6, but now it's 4th down.
Now that was kind of interesting. It appears this coaching staff really trusts this rookie early in his career. They want to get him a touchdown here in his NFL debut.
Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Giants with a football here as we begin quarter number 2. And they've got a decision to make here on 4th down and 2. And the kick by Rosas is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. Well, maybe a little bit of an anxious moment there as that ball got closer and closer, but it does curl in.
Yeah, actually did a little bit of a slow dance there with the left upright, didn't it? But had just enough space as you said, for it to curl in.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. This offense trots back out there now, and as they do, Charles, one thing to point out that we saw a second ago are some of the new rules in the NFL this year regarding kickoffs.
Yeah, nowadays, the kickoff team, no more running starts. Remember that when you got to circle a guy around, and here he goes? No more. You have to start, close to the ball. And when it's kicked, then you get to take off and go, so you can't build up your speed that way. Also, when you're returning it, remember those wedges that we used to say where guys would form together, 2 or 3 guys? No more of those. So it'll be a lot more man-on-man, one-on-one blocking. And also they have rules about where people have to be when the ball's kicked, where they have to be when the ball's caught. So to me, it's much more like a punt return than it is an actual kickoff return. So I'm eager to see if teams now take their punt returners, those nifty guys who make people miss in the open field, and make them the kickoff returners as well, because I think you can still get big plays in this area if you have the right people back there.
And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
This is brought in at the 21. Another spin. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Odell Beckham now marching back onto the field. He's delivered a solid performance so far here in the second quarter.
Everything has been good for him. And right now, if you're on defense, you don't want it to go to great. So you have to just change up coverages and looks on him all the time. Press coverage sometimes, back off and play some man, show some zone, double team him, make him really work for each and every catch.
He's hit the end zone once. Maybe there's more in the tank. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Manning. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A very solid gain of 27.
Yes, indeed. Eli Manning to Odell Beckham Jr. When they do it over and over, they usually win games.
Yeah, and you know the video game Madden, right?
Of course.
Yeah, that's why he's a big reason that Odell Beckham was on the cover in 16 with the arms stretched out, that famous one-handed catch.
Yeah, and he did that a lot, didn't he?
Manning gonna throw, and the Jags get to him as down he goes. Telvin Smith in there to get him for a loss of 5.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, it took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, it still definitely hurts.
And he's got his man. Beckham. Touchdown, Giants. Odell Beckham. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Giants add on to their lead. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Rosas to add the extra point. Rosas good with the extra point. And that makes our score 17-0. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. Rosas now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Jags heading out on offense. Last year we said, Charles, one of these years it has to come together for the Jaguars, doesn't it? Well, guess what? It certainly did. They won double-digit games for the first time in 10 seasons, and they picked up 2 more wins in the playoffs before falling in that tough win in New England.
And they decided that on offense, they were going to be a team that knocked you off the ball and ran it. That's why they drafted Leonard Fournette out of LSU, and he gave them some toughness and an identity. Quarterback Blake Bortles, often criticized, but elevated his play in the playoffs, both with his legs and his arm. But the defense, that's where the big transition happened. Yannick Ngakoue coming off the edge. Calais Campbell, maybe the best player in the defensive line in the league last season. But Jalen Ramsey out at corner, he gives them their swagger, he gives them their look, and he gives them great play on the edge.
A reminder coming up at the half, we hook up with a new guy, Jonathan Coachman from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis, and more importantly this year, scores and stats from around the league here in Week 1. So do not press that skip button. They'll try to run for it with Yeldon. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. Now Bortles. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing. And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Bortles again here on 2nd and 10. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Target the tight end, Austin Seferian-Jenkins. 3rd down here.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
31 yards on the punt there. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Odell Beckham now marching back onto the field, making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but his shredding defense is getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down.
And you remember pre-draft, there's a lot of speculation that the Giants should look for their future quarterback at number 2 with a great possibility. Remember, Sam Darnold from USC was still on the board, but they passed on him to take this runner, Saquon Barkley. And this is exactly why. They think he can extend the life of Eli Manning's career and give them 1,000-yard seasons year after year.
They haven't had a 1,000-yard season since 2012. Ahmad Bradshaw did it then. Manning to throw on 2nd down. And now the ball comes out. Manning lost it.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Here we go on 4th down with Manning. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll get this way down into Jacksonville territory. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. A first down carry for Barkley. A tough run gets him just inside the 10 to the 9, but no further. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Manning to throw on second down. And he's got his man. Beckham. Touchdown, Giants. Eli Manning with his third touchdown pass of the afternoon. And the Giants are able to grow their lead.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. PAT up and good by Rosas. And a rout is on here in this first half. Rosas now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number one. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll check in for the first time with the newest member of our Madden family, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome back to football, everybody. We've got a full slate of 16 games here to start the new season. So let's take our first trip around the NFL. We'll get started up at Lincoln Financial Field in Philly, where it was the visiting Falcons who were able to come away with the victory. The Falcons get off to a hot start as they get the road victory in their opener. Next, we take a trip down the coast to Miami to check on the Dolphins at home at Hard Rock Stadium. And you can see they have the lead over the visiting Tennessee Titans. The Dolphins looking to get to 1-0, and they've got the lead in front of their home faithful. Finally, let's get you to Baltimore. Check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And currently they are tied with the visiting Bills in that one. In our game, it's been the play of Eli Manning that's been the story so far. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
We'll see if week one fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Jaguars now as it go on offense first here in this third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call? Yeah. We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. On 2nd down, here's Bortles. And Austin Seferian-Jenkins has it. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I've got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe.
Well, they certainly haven't been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
From midfield, here's Bortles. Lee's got it over the middle. First catch for the man who led the Jags in catches a year ago, and it's a Jacksonville first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
A first down carry now for Yeldon. And down to the 36-yard line here. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
He'll get this over to Westbrook. It's complete. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
So now Bortles will bring the Jags up to go for 2.
Green 80.
Shotgun now for Bortles. And incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed, near the goal line, on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the 3rd quarter. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory.
And this will be caught at the 30. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Odell Beckham, 69 yards. And the Giants add on to their lead. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
Rosas now to add the PAT. Rosas good with the extra point. And they open the lead up now to 25. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass. And that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. One play, touchdown. Rosas now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Bortles will try again on second down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Partner, I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with. Some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting the 50% thus far.
But certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now. Now Bortles. And now another one thrown incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
And the Jaguars send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. This is taken at the 18. Spinning again. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now out come the Giants. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And we'll see if it's that easy here. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. Well, those Giant fans, you know that they love seeing Saquon Barkley wearing their jersey, but it's interesting. He actually grew up a Jets fan.
Yeah, I wonder what his dad was thinking, what Big Al was thinking on draft night. Had to be so happy for his son, but they grew up watching Jets games, just sit together, watch it. In fact, Dad has a Jets tattoo.
Yes.
Okay, so that tells you about how much he loves that team. You think Saquon's going to fix that and make it a Giants tattoo?
Yeah, he wants to make that a Giants tattoo. That family, though, they fully converted. They're supporting the G-men. Throwing is Manning. Caught left side. It's Beckham. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Eli to OBJ. What a combo. And really, how do you defend them when they're on their game?
Absolutely, and they're on their game in this one. That's really what this offense is predicated on, isn't it?
It really is. It's explosive plays, and it doesn't matter whether Eli throws it 3 yards or 30 yards. OBJ can provide that.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. To throw again, Manning. And he's got his man, Beckham. Touchdown, Giants. Odell Beckham, an 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Giants have got it on cruise control. And that touchdown reception is the 5th for him in this game, and that ties the NFL record.
And a record that's held up since 1950. This is another person that's tied it, but think about this. Bob Shaw said it in 1950. Kellen Winslow came along and tied it. And then, of course, Jerry Rice tied it as well. And finally, we're seeing it here one more time. Phenomenal.
PAT up and good by Rosas. And the lead will swell by one more. 5 plays there on that drive. And it was finished off by a touchdown by the New York Giants. Rosas now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A reminder, 4 more games set to kick off later this afternoon. Chiefs, Chargers, Seahawks and the Broncos, Redskins and Cardinals, and then the Cowboys against the Panthers. To throw, it's Bortles. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Green 80. Green 80.
Welcome back now here in East Rutherford. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Green 80. Green 80.
Now Bortles throwing on 2nd down. He goes underneath for Yeldon. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Bortles now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10.
Green 80. Green 80.
Working from the gun, it's Bortles. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
Bortles to throw once more. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Cole. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Let's not forget, a year ago, this was a last-place team in their division in the National Football League. How quickly the fortunes can turn.
And somewhere, there's a former commissioner smiling down and looking because parity was something he was looking for in this league, and it plays itself out year after year. Last to first is not something that's uncommon in the NFL.
Yeah, a season ago, they didn't have one performance like this, but they put it all together in this ball game. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too far.
He's got a man complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. They give him a gain of 38. So another catch, more yards, and now enough yards to break the single-game record.
It seemed inevitable the way this game went that the yards record would fall, and we got to see it. We got to witness it, and the crowd is so excited to watch another NFL record fall.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. A handoff to Barkley, and he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
On second down, here's Manning. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Shepard. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 23 yards on the play.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
But right now, maybe they're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone if they win big.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Here's a give to Barkley. And he'll take this down for about 4 yards, down to the 15. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away. To throw on second down. Manning. This is caught. A Giant first down. Manning to an open Beckham. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. First and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
And Barkley will try to punch it in, and he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty. First and goal. After the penalty, they go with Barkley. And he is not going to get through here on try number 1. They stop him at the goal line. Call it no gain, and it's going to be second and goal.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Another shot from the 1 on second and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. Touchdown number 1 of the NFL career for young star Saquon Barkley as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. I think all teams probably like seeing that schedule for the first time, looking at week 1. Oh, good, we're at home. This is why you want to be home in week 1. They're looking sharp.
And I agree with you totally. That's what you want, but there carries a little extra pressure with that as well because you and I both know protecting the home field, winning your home games is paramount in this league. So you go into it, yeah, we want it, but now you actually have to go out and prove it.
Had 2 sides to that coin and looking like they're going to protect it here in this one. Rosas now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
This is Yeldon on the dump off. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
On 3rd and long, it's Bortles. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. New York set to take the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season.
And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. And that touchdown catch, Charles, it breaks the single-game record for receiving touchdowns.
And what a perfect match. A quarterback who loves to throw it and a receiver who knows how to go out and get them. A brand-new record established today, and all these fans who are on that side are going to go home happy.
Rosas to add the extra point. Rosas good with the extra point. That game has gone final in Foxborough, and it was the Patriots that wound up winners in that one. Tom Brady, good game throwing the ball over 300 passing yards. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. One final try now for Bortles. They go with the screen. It's Yeldon. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. And, partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week 1. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for the Giants, it's a fantastic start as they roll to a blowout victory here in the season opener. And they'll hit the road next week to...
The players on your team earned XP. Quickly upgrade your team at the end of each game.
I woke up and I'm feeling like a boss right now. I'm gonna hold it down, I swear. I roll up and I'm smelling like a right now. I do this for my rounds, oh yeah. Feel like in the real life, dripping on sauce in the good life. You shine, I shine, and ain't nobody gonna take my
keeper. Them burritos. Get to the pesos with amigos. I feel like I'm
Don't you run out? No, I can't show you no love, baby. Yeah, I am a boss in the cut, mayday. Bubbles and these models, it's popping, I tip her. I skip her, I give her the. Girl, you on my line right now. Yeah, I can see the signs right now. Feeling like a boss right now. Feeling like a boss right now. You just took a loss right now. Dripping in the sauce right now. Get a sprinkle up my style. I'm about to lock down. Feel like in the real life, dripping all sauce in the gun.
Now, let's take a minute to see how you can improve your team. Once you're ready, go ahead and select Advance Week. You have great browse available players to improve your team.
I feel like a boss right now. Talk to the man right now. Oh, yeah. Feel like the man right now. Your girl on my line right now. Oh, yeah. Shorty all up in my feel. Yeah. She love me in the gray sweatpants. You never left. Yeah.
feeling like a boss, I done made it. Get so deep like a spaceship. I swear my life is amazing. Blowing money, no hesitation. Up, down, no basic. I know these be hating, but that's what made me
Feel like